All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're up here, Jimmy Britt, up here in Statesboro, Georgia, and we are talking 1500 Warlock or 2500 Warlock. Which one? And we're going to show you some of the differences. Which one would you go for? Both are Warlock trims. Now, we do not have a Warlock yet, but this is the new 2026 Express, which basically, from the outside exterior, what we're looking at, the real difference only is going to be, the Warlock version will have those tires. Different rim, but I mean, basically it'll be those tires. But technically speaking, same hood, same look, same everything. So for all practical purposes, as a nighttime, as we're out here looking at it, this would be your difference. This would be 1500 Warlock, 2500 Warlock. And it's pretty dang legit here as you look at them. I know the light pole's in the way, but that would be your world right here. So I have some specs on both. Which one are you gonna take? So now, what do you get with the 1500 Warlock? We got a couple of them here. Here's a nice silver one down here. It's nice and shiny and in good light. We can take a look at it and see what we got right here. Let's walk right over here. Here it is right here, Warlock. 1500 Warlock. And so when we look at this thing, we get a choice of 3 different motors in this truck. 3 motors in this one, 2 motor options in a 2500. We'll break it down. But this one here, we get a choice of the 3.6 liter V6 with 305 horsepower, 269 pound-feet of torque, and that is a great system that is in there. It is a great motor. We also get a choice of the Hurricane, which is what this one has in it. The Hurricane inline 6 turbo engine, which is putting out 420 horsepower, 469 foot-pounds of torque, which is actually the most powerful gas engine you can get between this one or the 2500 one. Pretty impressive. And then you can also get this with the 5.7 liter Hemi engine V8, which is going to be 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque is your options here. Now, when we go over to the 2500, okay, we get that sport hood. You notice you don't get the sport hood on here. Here's that sport hood in the 1500. You don't get it on the Warlock here, okay? And I like it better without than I do with. This is a lot of extra crap that blocks view in the middle. This one doesn't have it. I like it better. But you will in the 25 Warlock, 26, 2025. In the 26, 2500 Warlock, you will get this sport hood. Okay, you can see, big and bulky, you will get that. But motor-wise, in this one, you get the 6.4 liter V8, gas engine, 405 horsepower to 429 pound-feet of torque. Or you get the 6.7 high output only for 2026. There is no more Cummins high output or standard output. They are all high output is what everybody gets now. And that is putting out 430 horsepower, 1,075 pound-feet of torque out of that new Cummins. Okay, so that's a pretty impressive motor. That's a great option. Tow rating, max tow. In this 2500 Warlock that we have right here, you're going to get a capability of up to 20,000 pounds of towing rating. Up to 20,000 pounds. Where in the 1500 Warlock right here, you're going to be at about 11,350 max towing rating that you're going to get out of this. So you can see different worlds here. You can obviously see the size difference between these trucks. Pretty significant, but yet not really all that much. You know, it's there, but it's not a huge difference, okay? But you get those options. Now, there is some mechanical differences. In the Ram Warlock 1500, this one, Warlock, you do get a actual dedicated rear locking differential. In the 2500 Warlock, you get a limited slip differential. That is a difference. That's a pretty big difference. Now, they're both got pros and cons, but it is crazy that this truck here does that. It's the same with Chevy. Chevy's no different. Okay, there's Tina's ZR2 that I drove up here, sitting right there. Okay, the Colorado ZR2, which you see, and the Silverado ZR2, both have front lockers. The heavy-duty ZR2, the 2500 ZR2, does not have a front locker. Same kind of stuff is happening here. Full rear locker here, only limited slip here. So that is something you got to take into consideration. When we look at these here, ground clearance-wise, big difference. Again, based on the design. And in fact, the ground clearance is based on running ground clearance, but they claim this one is 9.7 inches of ground clearance for the 1500. The 2500 is claiming is 13.3 inches, so you're talking about more ground clearance in there. MSRP prices, the numbers that you're going to pay for these. Now remember, this is a 6.5 foot bed. This is a 5.5 foot bed. Okay, that's the configurations for these. So you can see, look at the bed size in here, bed length versus this one. Okay, now the cab size of the 1500, believe it or not, is bigger than the cab size of the 2500. So it's pretty interesting when you think about it. We'll talk about price, but this cab has more interior space than this cab does, but this one has a foot longer bed than what this one does. This one is a little taller. This has got solid front axles. This has got independent front suspension. 1500, which means it's a half-ton truck. 2500, meaning it's 3/4 ton truck. Available in gas and diesel options. Available with 3 gas engines, one of them being turbocharged. So again, a lot of neat things to consider in here. Price-wise, MSRP on the 1500, let me actually get my sheet here. MSRP on a 1500 version like this starts at $51,800. 4-wheel drive. There it is right there. That's the starting price. Now, the starting price will include the 3.6 liter Pentastar. But you can see, so, you know, you're going to be about $55,000 probably is the way you're going to set this up. $55,000 to $57,000 for an MSRP. The 2500 setup with the 6.4 gas or 4-wheel drive, all that stuff coming in at about $57,000 with some options, $58,000, $59,000. But we don't have that huge engine jump because of the fact that this is going to be with that 6.4 automatically. Going to the diesel is going to jump it up about $12,000 more because you're getting a diesel. It's like that in every 2500. If you go from gas to diesel, it's about a $12,000 jump for that because of the diesel engine. But gas to gas, like I said, these are pretty dang comparable price rise. And when you look at the true street price of these two trucks, they are going to be within a couple $1,000s of each other. And that is amazing. That is incredible that we have that choice. We have got an incredible 1500 that is super capable. We've got an incredible 2500. Again, imagine this is a Warlock. They're not out yet. This is a 26 Express. It'll be just like this though. But I mean, we are talking about 2 incredible trucks that are super capable, both wearing the same badges. Both of them are basically based on the Rebel. This is a Rebel in a tradesman trim. This is a Rebel in a tradesman trim. That's what the Warlocks are in both 2500 for 26 and 1500 for 2026. They are basically scaled down Rebel versions of these trucks, and they are amazing. Ooh, I just kicked an ant nest. We don't want to stop there. Awesome, awesome options. Which one do you want? Which one are you going to buy? Now, obviously, gas mileage is going to be much worse with this than it is with that one. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Capabilities, towing, payload, strength, robustness, durability, all that kind of stuff is going to be better with this one than that one. That one is going to be more garageable. Okay, you will have a better chance of fitting this one in your garage. We got to get off this road. Got a lot of noise here. Let me come in this way. Even with a mic on, I'm sure it's annoying as can be. Let's just cut over here. But this one will fit in your garage. This one may not fit in your garage. There's a lot of factors you got to come into. But again, 1 foot smaller bed, the shallower bed than that. You got to play all these considerations and figure out what's going to be best for you. I'm curious as to which way you would lean. 1500 Warlock, 2500 Warlock. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Which way you going? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.